Hello and welcome to this short video about break-even, aimed at people who are not accountants. A business activity is said to break even when it makes neither a profit nor a loss. So this is when sales revenue is equal to total costs. So we will begin by looking at the costs. Different activities in a business give rise to costs. So one basic activity is the cost of producing or servicing an individual product or unit of output. And this is known as a unit level cost or a variable cost. For example, the cost of flour in a loaf of bread. Other costs arise in producing batches, looking after a whole product range, or looking after the whole business. The names of each of these categories are not important here, so we will call all of them the non-unit level costs. And these are also known as fixed costs. Whenever we sell a unit, we incur a unit level cost. And the money that's left is called the contribution. So the contribution is the selling price minus the unit level cost. So here's an example. We sell something for £15, we incur the unit level cost of £6, and we're left with contribution of £9. Now this contribution is used to pay for the non-unit level costs. Once these have been paid for, the contribution from any further sales is profit. So the point at which all the non-unit level costs have been paid for is called the break-even point. Now what we usually want to know is how many units do we have to sell to collect enough contribution to pay for the non-unit level costs. So that's the break-even point. So what we do is we simply take all those non-unit level costs and we divide it by the contribution we get for each unit, and that will tell us how many units we need. So here's an example. It's the same example we looked at before with a contribution of £9. Now we know that the non-unit level costs are £18,000 a year. So we divide that by £9, and that tells us we need to sell 2,000 units to break even. So you can see that here that we get a little bit of contribution for every unit, and it keeps going up and up and up the more units we sell, and we're slowly paying off all those non-unit level costs, and then once we reach the break-even point, the contribution is all profit. Right, there is an alternative approach. Let's look at total output over a period. So in that case, the total contribution is all the sales revenue minus all the unit level costs. So, for example, we've got £60,000 of sales revenue. Our unit level costs for all our units are £24,000, and therefore our contribution is £36,000. For the period. Now, as we saw earlier, break-even occurs when there is enough contribution to pay for all the non-unit level costs. So the contribution equals the total non-unit level costs. So here's the example we had before. So the non-unit level costs are £18,000, so at break-even we need a contribution of £18,000. Now in our original plan our contribution was £36,000, so what we need is 50% of that. Therefore we need 50% of the sales. Our sales were £60,000, so we need £30,000 of sales to give us contribution of £18,000. Then we can pay the non-unit level costs and we will break even. Right, so that's covered break-even. Just in case you're wondering how profit comes into all this, I just thought we'd better mention it. As I expect you know, profit is sales revenue minus all the costs. So that's, you take away the unit level costs and you take away the non-unit level costs. But we've just seen that sales revenue minus unit level costs is contribution. So if you know the contribution, you can work out the profit by taking away the non-unit level costs. So here's the example we had before. So our contribution we'd worked out was £36,000. We know our non-unit level costs are £18,000. So in that situation, our profit will be £18,000. And that's all we need to cover here. If you want to know some more, have a look at our video on cost structure. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for your attention.